just filmed this entire video and it wasn't making any sense, so we're gonna redo it. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. Really excited to have you here, and I'm very excited for this video. Before we dive in, a quick little, I guess, like trigger warning. I am going to be talking about fitness and my body and everything to do under that umbrella. I won't really be talking about food in this video, but still, just a huge trigger warning to anyone. I don't want this video to be upsetting or unsettling for anyone, so I wanted to put that out there. But with that being said, today we are going to talk about my fitness journey and where I'm at now. I'll be talking a little bit about like where my body is and how it's changed and just everything under that umbrella. I don't really do these types of videos at all. If you watch my channel regularly, you know that I do more vlogs and clothing and stuff like that. But I think with having a platform, although albeit my platform is very small, I'm not like sitting here saying I'm a giant fitness influencer or whatever. I don't claim to be a fitness anything. I do think that with having any sort of platform comes a responsibility of not just, you know, doing hauls and stuff like that, and those are super fun, but I also think it's important to talk about topics that are a little bit more meaningful. So that's what today's video is going to be, and I'm excited to chat with you guys. So I will put timestamps throughout this video in case you're only interested in like certain pieces or anything. I'd love if you'd watch the whole thing, of course, but you don't have to. So I'll put timestamps to be a little bit more helpful, and let's get into it. I figured I would start out this conversation by talking about my personal fitness journey. So this is definitely going to be just what I've gone through fitness wise, and then we'll dive into like what I've learned, and then I also have a few questions that you guys asked me that I will answer at the end. And throughout this I will be putting pictures and things like that so that you guys can, I don't know, just like have some more context throughout this video. So let's dive in. Starting with my fitness journey, I'm really gonna only start it back in my freshman year of college. I did sports and cheer and stuff before that, but freshman year of college is when I really started what I would consider to be my fitness journey. I guess just like a tiny bit of background. Growing up, fitness and working out wasn't like a huge thing in my family. I know some people grow up and whether it's their parents or their siblings or distant relatives or whatever are super into fitness. I don't really feel like I had that in my family. We all did sports, so that was like more our thing. We did taekwondo growing up. We did like sports, and like I remember going on bike rides as a kid and stuff like that, but fitness and like going to the gym wasn't as much of a thing in my family. So just like a little bit of background. But diving into freshman year of college, I went to UMass Boston and I started working at the fitness center. I also just realized Sully is laying next to me. Well, he's like on the ground right next to me and he's snoring, so if you can hear that, that's what that is. But going back, freshman year, started working at the gym. That's actually where I met Yusuf, fun fact, and that was really the beginning of all things fitness for me. So because I was at the gym, because I started dating Yusuf, all these factors led me to start working out. But the gym that I was working at was a huge, like almost bodybuilder's gym. It wasn't, like, it's not what it was called or anything. It was just a regular fitness center, but there were things like deadlifting platforms, and there were benches and squat racks and things like that, and that is what the people that I was surrounding myself with were doing. So that's what I started doing. That's how I really started working out. Yusuf truly taught me everything, even now, that I know about working out for the most part. But he taught me, you know, proper form and even what reps and sets and all those things were, and I definitely wouldn't be where I am if he had not taught me all that. I'll say that first. But because of that, I was doing essentially his workouts, which, I mean, I'll dive into this a little bit more later, but for a, what was I, 18-year-old girl versus, how old was he? I don't know, 21-year-old male, we definitely had different goals that we wanted out of fitness, and I didn't realize at the time. So I was doing what a 21-year-old male wanted for his, out of his fitness. Does that make sense? You know, so I'll dive into that more, like I said, but I just think that's something important to highlight. So moving on from that, I essentially bodybuild. I didn't bodybuild. I don't know. I was just heavily weightlifting. So I was benching, squatting, deadlifting, hip thrusting, all of those things for about 2 years religiously. I would go to the gym 6 days a week. I was working on upping my PRs. I was working on adding as much weight to the bars as I could, obviously in a way that my body could handle, and everything just to do with that is what I was doing. So at one point, I mean, I was strong. I was able to squat 225 for a rep. I was able to bench, did I ever get up to 135? I don't know. I was able to do some pretty heavy weight, which at the time, like, I was super proud of, and even looking back, like, that's pretty cool. You know, I'm a small gal, and that was great. But then COVID hit, which was March 2020, as we all know. And obviously I stopped working at the gym because it shut down due to COVID. And I started doing like YouTube workouts, as did, I feel like, a lot of us. So I was doing Chloe Ting and MadFit. I did a MadFit challenge on my channel. I was doing, what else was I doing? I don't know, I was just doing a ton of YouTube workouts, but I wasn't really, I guess, like, getting anything out of them. I don't know, I was doing it more because I felt like I should be doing it more than I really wanted to be doing it. So that was that. I did that for probably about, I don't know, maybe, honestly, maybe about a year. I mean, I was also doing, like, I'd FaceTime my mom and we would do workouts together and stuff, but we were all, I feel like the whole world was in such this weird period during that time that it was kind of like, what do you do? So that was that for about a year. Then Yusuf and I moved in together. We moved in here, and I started doing the Whitney Simmons Alive challenge. Did that for a bit, and I actually really enjoyed that. It was definitely more like weightlifting focused, but it still wasn't providing me with like the, oh my god, I can't wait to do the next workout, or like finishing a workout and feeling so good that I just did that. Of course, I was happy when I finished a workout, but something was missing. And then about maybe 6 months ago, I started doing these Sammy Clark workouts. This is gonna sound like an ad for Sammy Clark workouts, her forum workouts. It's not, of course. They just work for me, but that's not to say that they'll work for you. But I think more than just the workouts, I finally have fallen in love with working out for my mental health, and that's been huge. And I think I needed to make that shift in order to stick with it, and that is why I've been sticking with it. And I think, again, I just think that's truly like what changed this journey for me, I guess to say. So that's kind of like the journey or the steps that I've gone through to get me to where I am now. In terms of, I guess, like my body and talking about that, when I was weightlifting, I was strong. I definitely had muscle. My back was muscular. My legs were super muscular. Like, I had quads at one point, like strong quads. I mean, I still do, but like you could see the definition. And I was strong. I definitely was strong, but I don't know. Again, I was doing, it wasn't, I don't know how to say this in a way that doesn't sound like, I don't know, shallow, but I didn't like how my body looked still. Like, it wasn't the results that I wanted, and I was putting so much time and effort into the gym. I mean, I would go to the gym for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I still wasn't really getting what I wanted out of it. Fast forward to quarantine, my body, I feel like it was a weird time again. Our bodies changed, at least my body did. I also got my tonsils out during that time, so I ended up losing a little weight, but I still just, like, I wasn't toned. I think that's what it really came down to. I didn't feel like my body was where it wanted to be. And then fast forward to now, I feel like I'm just like more toned, I guess. And I guess that's what I wanted out of working out. But more than that, I wanted to just like feel good mentally, and I finally do. And that's just like exciting to say. And this kind of goes into what I've learned, but actually, you know what? Let's just like dive into what I've learned, okay? I feel like I need to like move you guys back because I'm like leaning forward and it's kind of hurting my back. Okay, if I were talking to someone who has never stepped foot in a gym, never really started their fitness journey, I guess like these are the few things I would tell them. Number one, it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. There's no copy and paste to what someone else is doing. You really have to find what works for you, what's gonna make you stick with it, what makes your body feel good, what your body can handle, and all these things play such huge factors. Also, like what you want out of the gym, or what you want out of, also I keep saying gym, but you could be on your fitness journey biking or whatever it may be. I'm just saying gym because that's my personal experience, but I think all those questions and factors are really big to consider when it comes to starting your fitness journey. And I kind of just like jumped into it head first, and I didn't think about those things, and I also just didn't realize how long and ongoing this journey would be. But I do wish someone told me like, hey, just because your boyfriend is doing 2-hour workouts in the gym doesn't mean you need to be doing them. And that's not to say anything at all bad about Yusuf or his workouts because they work for him great, and they did work for me at the time, but I wasn't thinking about what I wanted again. So I think that's really important to consider and to like take the time and understand what you want out of it. And then the second thing I've learned is going off of that is that there has to be more than a physical reason why you're going to the gym. There has to be like a bigger why. And for so long I was going to the gym because I wanted to look a certain way. I wanted to, I'm gonna say not necessarily lose weight, but yeah, honestly, I mean, I wanted to like tone up and look skinnier, and I wanted abs and all those things, and that's fine, and that can be part of your reason. To say it's still not part of my reason would just simply be a lie, but you have to find the bigger why. And for me now, I go to the gym because I feel so good after. I have so much mental clarity. It's an escape from sitting at my desk working every single day, and it makes me feel good. I have so much more energy throughout the day, and I know that I'm making these choices that are making me healthier in the long run. I'm gonna live a longer life because of them, and all these things that are more than just the physical aspect, I finally realized, and it took me a long time to realize them, and it's not gonna happen overnight, and I'm still working on it, of course, but I do think it is just, it's like, there's a huge shift with doing it just for the physical and doing it for also the mental benefits that can come from working out, if that makes any sense. And then the last piece I would say when it comes to like things I've learned would just be the motivation piece, which I believe one of you actually asked me a question on that, so I'll just touch on that now. Motivation is gonna come and go, like period. I'll say it again, motivation is going to come and go. You're not gonna have it every single day. I absolutely do not have it every single day. I've worked out for the past 8 days straight, and that's a freaking long time for me to work out for 8 days straight. And I'm like on a super high motivation, what am I trying to say? Like motivated kick right now, and I'm really, really enjoying it. But I know for a fact in a few weeks or in a few months, whatever it may be, I am not gonna feel motivated. I'm not gonna wanna go to the gym. And that's when I have to figure out in my brain, okay, is it that my body actually needs to rest? Like this morning, my body, like I said, had worked out for 8 days straight and needed to rest, and so I slept in a little bit longer. Or is it that I'm essentially being lazy? You know what I mean? There's two different reasons for maybe why you're not showing up at the gym, and I'm still working on differentiating that reason. Again, just with that being said, motivation is gonna come and go. It's not always gonna be 100%. There could be weeks or months or however long that you're just not feeling it. And again, that comes back to like, you have to figure out a deeper reason than the why, the physical why, because that's not gonna get you to the gym when you don't want to. But if you're having a bad day and you don't want to go to the gym, and you remember how good mentally you're gonna feel after a workout, that might get you to the gym. I hope that all made sense. I don't want to like blab too long because like, who am I to talk about this? I just wanted to have a conversation, but I'm gonna answer a few questions that you guys asked. Okay, first one, what are some sustainable habits you formed that have worked for you? It's a really good one, because also habits are huge. One, this isn't really a habit, but I guess it is. I have to work out in the morning. I have to work out on an empty stomach, and I have to do it first thing in the morning or it's not gonna happen, and I know that for myself. So if I wake up and I'm really, really tired, but I know mentally I could, and I deep down want to do a workout, I have to get my butt there. Otherwise it's not gonna happen later on in the day, and then I'm gonna be hard on myself. So I know that's not really a habit, but it also is like acknowledging what works for me has been super big. So that's huge. But also just like smaller habits. I say this all the time, but my water intake is something that's really, really big for me. Everyone says it, it's annoying, I understand that, but it is big. Helps my skin, it helps my energy, it helps me with digestion, and just like overall makes me feel better. So water is really big. I can link my water bottle down below that I use. Is it over here? No, I would grab it, but it's like in the other room, whatever. It's just like a 64-ounce water bottle, and it helps me drink a lot more water. I also like to plan my workout the night before. So even though I'm doing like Sammy Clark's workouts and I don't really have to think about it, I need to go to bed knowing what I'm working out the next day, so that in the morning I don't wake up, I don't know. I feel like if I know what I'm gonna do that next day, I'm like, well, I already have it scheduled. I need to show up because it's already, you know, it's already there. Whereas if I don't know, then I'm gonna wake up and be like, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do today. I might as well just like go back to sleep, whatever, you know. And then my last habit would be, or I guess last two habits, I do take a pre and probiotic, which I do think has helped me with like digestion and bloating. And then my last one is a little bit more with like the eating side. With eating, I'm huge on Sunday resets. As you guys have probably noticed if you watch my channel, I will go grocery shopping every single Sunday and will plan meals, potentially prep meals, and just like prep any like fruit or veggies or things like that for the week. And that definitely helps me throughout the week to either not order in, which again is totally fine if you wanted to do that, but just if I already have food like prepped and ready to go, then I am way more likely to eat that. So those are a few habits. I'm sure there's a bunch more that I'm missing, but those are some that came to mind. I'm like losing my voice because I'm talking too much. Next is your thoughts on weightlifting. I kind of already touched on this, but I think weightlifting is great. I mean, I think it works for a lot of people. It worked for me for a very, very long time. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And this is not, well, okay, first of all, let me say, when I'm talking about weightlifting right now, I'm talking about like intensely weightlifting like I used to. So in that regard, I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. If it works for you, that's great. I just fell out of love with it, and that's simply that. But I mean, I guess day to day I am still lifting weights. I'm just lifting a lot of lighter weights, like 10, 15 pounds max, and I just prefer it. It's getting me, I mean, essentially it's getting me the physical results that I have wanted all this time. I just didn't know that I wanted them. So I guess that's where I stand on it. But again, like everyone's gonna be so different, and you may love lifting or squatting 135 pounds every day. And if you do, then you go and you keep doing that because that's great. How I found the kind of workout that's right for me, trial and error. And trying, I mean, this is trial and error, but trying things, realizing either I really didn't like them, I didn't see the results, or I didn't feel the results, whatever it may be that I wanted, and then trying something new. And also like 6 months from now, I might be so bored of form workouts, the ones I'm currently doing, and I may want to do something completely different. If that's the case, then that's fine. I'm someone who like, I do need change every once in a while because otherwise it feels very static. And so I also think like it's okay if you want to change it up from time to time, or if you want to say, okay, Monday I'm gonna do Pilates, and Wednesday I'm gonna do a HIIT workout, and then Friday I'm gonna go on a walk, or however you want to break it up. If that's, again, I keep saying this, I'm sorry, I'm like a broken record, but if that's what works for you, then like that's great. At the end of the day, it really is just trial and error. And I think I'm gonna end this off here. I hope, I don't know, I really hope that this video was helpful. I'm like second guessing everything I just said because it is like such a personal journey and it's ongoing, as we all know. But I do hope that if nothing else, that maybe this was entertaining. At the end of the day, I am still learning, as are, I mean, all of us. And like I said, it is a journey. So I'm never really gonna be done with it, but I just know that I'm feeling good. I am continuing to find what works for me, and I am mentally a lot happier with what I'm doing right now for my body. So that is that. I will put some like before and after pictures right here on the screen in case you're interested. Again, like it's so much more than the physical health, but I do know that those are nice to see. So I'll put those here on the screen. If this is the first video you're watching me, I'd love for you to stick around, subscribe. I promise I'm gonna say I promise I don't always have a snoring dog next to me, but I usually do, so that would be a lie. Regardless, thank you for being here. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.